Hey guys, today we are going to look at different stories and kind of see how graphs will change based off the information that they give us. So if you are in class today with me, you will be getting a piece of paper that looks like this, so you'll be doing it in class. So this video is just for kids that are not in class today. And so on Google Classroom, you will be getting a copy of this, and it's exactly the same. It just looks a little bit different. So we'll be still looking at stories and graphing the information that they give us, and we'll have to click and drag dots. So I'll show you guys how to do that as well. Okay, so here's the first problem. It says, can we illustrate the story? Try these. So Sia is decorating a huge mansion. She decides she will buy 3 new chandeliers every month to light up each room. Show how many chandeliers she will have over time. Okay, so we can create a table, or we can just think about, we have the number of months Sia is living in this house and the total number of chandeliers. Okay, so if we have 0 months, if she just started this, she has 0 chandeliers. So we can make a input-output table. Okay, 0 months, 0 chandeliers. Okay. After 1 month, she's going to buy 3 new chandeliers. So 1 month occurs, and she buys 3 chandeliers. Okay. 2 months, she will have 6 total chandeliers. 3 months, she will have 9 chandeliers. 4 months, 3 more for a total of 12. 5 months would be 15. 6 months would be 18. I'm just adding 3 every time. Okay. 7 months would be 21. 8 months would be 24. And 9 months would be 27. And we'll do 10 months for 30. See if we have that. Okay, so now I'm just going to plot this information. 3 months would be a total of 9 chandeliers. So we have to kind of guess that's halfway through. 8 and 10. 4 months would be 12 chandeliers. 5 months would be 15 chandeliers. 6 months would be 18. 7 would be 21. 8 months would be 24. And 9 months, we don't have 27 on our graph, so we'll just stop there. Okay, then I will connect these dots with a line. Okay, so if we are doing this on our Google slide, we will do the same exact thing, just not on paper. So 0 months, 0 chandeliers. 1 month, 3 chandeliers. 2 months, 6 chandeliers. 3 months, 9 chandeliers. 4 months, 12. 5, 15. 6, 18. Again, we're just doing the best that we can to graph this story. 7 would be 21. 8 would be 24. And we couldn't graph 9 or 10 just because our graph was not that big. So to create a line, you can either hit Insert Line, or you can just click on this little guy. Okay, I want to do an arrow. So then I click and I drag, and then it didn't really perfectly work, so I'm just going to move it a little bit and then make it look how I want it to look. It has an arrow. I'm going to make the thickness 3 just so I can see it a little bit better. So that's what you guys are going to do. Is there are 2 more stories, and I want you guys to go ahead and create your graphs, and then afterwards we will come back and we will do a different graph. Okay. So now what we have, we should hopefully have our graphs for Drake's elevation and for One Direction's distance. Okay, we'll go over those real quick. Drake is climbing Mount Everest. He started from the bottom. So he starts at the bottom. Okay. And it takes him 3 hours to climb 1 kilometer. So here's 3 hours to get 1 kilometer up on the mountain. So we have not as steep of a line. Then another 3 hours pass, so we're at 6 hours, and he would go another kilometer up the mountain. And then another 3 hours, he would be another kilometer up the mountain. So now I'm going to create that line that we just created before. I'm going to make it a little bit thicker, and that is that. All right. In order to get to their next concert, the members of One Direction drive all night at the speed of 60 miles per hour. Show the distance they will reach over time. Okay, so we have our dots. Okay, so 0 hours have passed. They have not gone any miles. Okay. 1 mile has passed. They've gone 60 miles because it's 60 miles per hour. 2 miles, they would be at 120. 3 hours, they would be at 180. 4 hours, they would be at 240. 5 hours, they would be at 300. 6 hours, they would be at 360. 7 hours, they would be at 420. And 8 hours, they would be at 480. So those are all the data points that we can put on our graphs. Okay, make it thick again. Okay, so now we've changed the story a little bit, and we're just going to see how the graphs will change. So we'll do this one together, and then you'll do the rest independently. Okay. So still talking about Sia. Sia is decorating a huge mansion. She decides she will buy 3 new chandeliers every month to light up each room. She already has 5 chandeliers. Show how many chandeliers she will have over time. Okay. So I'm going to kind of create the table, and then we will go from there. Okay, so we have months as our input and chandeliers as our output. Okay. Now the difference was she already started with 5 chandeliers. So before I even start, she has 5. Okay. Now after 1 month, she gets 3 more, so that'd be a total of 8. After 2 months, she would get 3 more for a total of 11. 3 months, she would be 3 more at 14. 4 months, she would be at 17. 5 months, she would be at 20. 6 months, she would be at 23. And 7 months, she would be at 26. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and plot this information. Okay, I'll show you how to graph it on this, and then we'll do it on the Google side. So 0 months, she starts with 5 chandeliers. 1 month, she has a total of 8. 2 months, she has a total of 11. 3 months, 14. 4 months, 17. 5 months, 20. 6 months, 23. And 7 months, 26. Okay, so on our Google slide, we will do the same thing. So we have to start off with her already having 5. And then she's going to get 3 additional ones. So she would be at 8. She would be at 11. Then 14. Then 17. 20. 23. And 26. So then we'll create our line. And there is our line. So I want you guys to go ahead and look at the next 2 slides. Still talking about Drake climbing a mountain and One Direction going speed, but they changed slightly. So go ahead and try creating those graphs, and then we'll check back in and we'll see if we got them right. Okay, so for this problem, Drake is climbing Mount Everest. He started not from the bottom this time. He started 2 kilometers up. So we're going to say he started right here, 2 kilometers. Okay. Then it took him 3 hours to climb 1 kilometer. So 3 hours have passed, and he is 1 kilometer higher. Okay. Then he continues to do the same exact thing. And so we are going to show the relationship over time. Okay. So your graph should look something like that. All right, for One Direction, in order to get the next concert, the members of One Direction drive all night at a speed of 60 miles per hour. If they've already traveled 150 miles, show the distance they will reach over time. So we have already traveled 150 miles. So I'm going to start at 150 miles, and then we're going to go up 60 from there. So we'd be at 210, and then 270, and 330, and 390, 450, and we can't do any other ones. So now we will create our line. Okay, so the very last part of this activity is you guys are just going to compare what was similar. You guys will type what you guys think was similar and what was different about the graphs. Okay, and then we'll start kind of introducing this idea of a starting value. So you guys are going to just kind of write what you guys think, finding the rate of change in the slope. It talks about an equation, and it's okay if you are wrong for exercise B. We just want to see if you guys can write an equation starting off. So that is the activity for today.